I've 27 female, been with my fiance for 5 years. We met in college and have been together since. I feel like I really connect with him and we've grown together over the years. And I must admit, I'm not an easy person to live with. However, despite my shortcomings, he's stuck by my side and showered me with love, which baffles me. It all started during COVID. Being stuck together with my fiance for weeks on end was maddening to me. I became abusive and mistreated him, which strained our relationship further. My fiance couldn't understand why I hated spending time with him so much, but I felt suffocated. Over time, he stopped persisting me for doing things together and sort of withdrew, so our relationship suffered. During this period, I felt isolated and craved physical connection. In April 2020, I started messaging a guy I met on a forum. We moved our conversation outside of the forum and pretty soon started texting and exchanging nudes. When the restrictions lifted, I had him come down to visit me where things got physical. After that, he came down to see me several times whenever restrictions would lift. My fiance never suspected a thing, and our relationship improved once the restrictions lifted permanently. My affair continued till late 2022, when I ended it due to guilt and personal turmoil. However, in March 2023, my fiance was contacted by the man I had my affair with. I had cut him off cold with no pre-warning, and little did I know he had not liked it. So he had tracked me down. I never disclosed him any of my personal details, not even my real name. Found I was engaged and spilled everything to my fiance. My fiance flew off the handle. I had to confess every disgusting detail in an effort to save my relationship. But once I was done, he decided he longer wanted to save the relationship. He ended things with me and told both sides of the family. Our wedding plans came to a halt. We were looking at a spring 2023 wedding, but now he doesn't seem to want a wedding. I begged and begged him to not tell the families, but he was adamant that it was the right thing to do. I wanted us to give our relationship another shot, but he said he'd never be able to look at me the same again. He also called me a sociopath because he says I lack empathy. Unfortunately, our lease is not up till June, and neither of us is in a position to break the lease, which has led to him being verbally abusive to me. He constantly cusses and name calls me. He keeps calling me a hoe bitch, slut, etc., which is unbearable. He also keeps posting on his FB about infidelity and tags me in his posts, which is embarrassing. I'm not sure how to make him stop or to manage my feelings about this situation. I think he's growing erratic by the second, and I do not want to live under the same roof as him anymore, much less want to be in a relationship. But he won't leave, and whenever I bring up wanting space, he crudely says hoes belong on streets, so I should be the one to leave. I'm lost on how to handle this situation. What would you do? Edit. We have not ended things officially yet. Our wedding planning is paused, not canceled. He never said he wanted to break up with me. Story 2. To cut a long backstory short, my wife 30 and I, 31, have been living separated for about 1.5 years, married for 7 years. 1 year of it in the same house because of our 3 children, currently living with me, but the new agreement will be 3 and 4 days in alternation with each of us parents. Before the separation, there was a marriage crisis, also some bad bedroom problems, which we have tried to solve with professional help. But at this time, she probably already did not want any more. Before the new arrangement, we saw each other regularly and also talked. Now she has recently remembered that as a child, she had a very traumatic experience, which was probably triggered during the marriage crisis. There are also parallels to what happened. She will discuss this and other unprocessed with a psychologist and has already made an appointment. Since she moved out, she has already had several affairs because for her, the marriage only exists on paper anymore. She is also more or less looking for something new, but is also still unclear what she wants at all. Before the childhood trauma came out, I was actually ready to inform myself about divorce law steps because I realized there was no hope. But since I know about that trauma, I am not really sure anymore. Somehow I have the hope that through the psychological talks that are pending, she can process all the problems and pain from the time before me, and also what happened in the crisis, and then possibly imagine coming back. I know the chance of this is extremely small, and it would probably be healthier for me to just made the cut, but somehow I can no longer let her go so easily because of the new knowledge. I'm pretty messed up emotionally, and also scared of the decisions I'll probably have to make and accept. If anyone has any tips on how I can change my mindset to stop seeing hope, I would also appreciate it. Update 1. Some time has passed since my last post. Small recap. Wife moved out a while ago, in the meanwhile met and had sexual contact with other men. I was not sure whether I should have hope or not. I have since tried to keep the contact to a minimum and only discuss things that concern the children. This has worked more or less well. We still had a lot of contact, especially because of the upcoming birthday of one of our children. I felt better, but of course still had many bad thoughts about what she does or doesn't do in regards with men. During the last conversation, she assured me that she will not meet any other men anymore because she doesn't want to and she has to find out what she really wants first. I was sure that she does it anyway, but had no proof. Then was the birthday of my child. We were together with the family. She was, of course, also present. For me, it was super weird. I felt really uncomfortable as she does one on Happy Life and speaking like a friend to me, while everything is broken. I also felt that something was weird. The kid's birthday party was planned for the day after. I called her in the morning and told her I thought it would be better if she didn't come. The kids were with me that day anyway. I explained why, but she insisted on coming. The party was going well. Kids had fun and all, but I couldn't resist, and then it happened. I couldn't stand it. I checked her cell phone and read the messages that she was, of course, seeing one or two men, and that they were also coming to her house and spending the night. I must say that I mentioned several times that I didn't want my children to sleep in the same bed where she was doing things with men. She agreed with me and said she didn't want that either. In an angry reaction, I told her to leave the party. When she asked why, I told her that I had read her messages. After that, it escalated a bit. She was angry because I have disregarded her privacy. I did not care. I told her how she can be so dishonest and she should leave. Told her that I never want to see her again. She tried to justify herself with sentences like, "I tried not to see him again, but I'm only human and weak and blah, blah, blah." It got a bit ugly in the conversation, but then she left. Later, I got a message where she admitted to sleep with men and that she will continue to meet with the one. She said she doesn't give a shit about me now, and she doesn't care about my feelings anymore. She said how great the sex is and that she has orgasms. She literally wrote that. She also wants to report me for violating her privacy. She thinks I hacked her phone or installed some software, but I still had a fingerprint registered, and said I provoked her. For me, this was the final line. I now have an appointment with the lawyer and will file for divorce. But what takes me hard is the sentence about the sex. I realize that she wrote that out of anger to hurt me, but it still knocked my confidence. Our sex life was always okay, but nothing special. I was her first, and she was always rather reserved to discover her own sexual passion. Had also mentioned earlier that she liked her experience. I am also afraid that now it will come to an ugly divorce and it will be more of a rose war. Also regarding the children and the fact that they will eventually see their mother with another man. I had a conversation yesterday with my daughter, close to 10 who doesn't want to be with her mother because she feels uncomfortable there. She was sad because she wants her mother to move back in. I tried to explain to her why that is not going to happen. I told her that it has nothing to do with the children, that mom still loves her and that I love her more than anything and will always be there for her. I am not sure how much I can tell my daughter. Something like that she is dating other men I think is rather wrong to say. I'm also really scared about the future and how I will feel, how my kids will be, how long it will take me to get over my wife, etc. I'm also not sure what to expect from the post. Probably I just need some encouraging words about the 4 paragraphs. What she did is horrible, but what were you expecting, OP? You were separated for 1.5 years, and at one point both of you either have to move back in together or go separate ways. Seems she chose the latter because she's already done with this marriage. Guess she's still in a fair fog. Better use it to your advantage. And protect your kids, please.